Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Well, this is the thing. You know, this is the thing. The BSC came to me, Uber, and they said, if you could have one thing in the World Finals, what do you like? And I said, well, I want to get a saturation control to tone down your bright shirts, and I'd also like a mute button for yourself, but also an off button to make sure that I'm always the most handsome caster when alongside yourself, because it's difficult sometimes.
Did I steal your bit? I don't think we didn't even talk about this before. You just said you were going to do something, so I didn't actually know what it was going to be. Yeah. If you really want me to go then, bro, that's fine. Fine. All right, bye. Yeah. Just kidding. I'm back. Well, I mean, great to be here. Obviously, man, we had a ton of fun this year. Look, it was awesome to cover these monthly finals with you. This next matchup is going to be pretty incredible, I think. Yeah. We have definitely one of the most popular teams in the world of Brawl Stars, right? Tribe EU are going up against Na'Vi here in our last match of the day. This is Na'Vi, the kings of the EECA region, against Tribe EU, who are, I mean, probably have the highest expectations of any team, but, you know, they come from the most competitive region, right? Where they've been going head-to-head with insane rosters every single month. But, I mean, Tribe EU, 2 previous world champions on this team. We know this is going to be a banger of a match.
Exactly right. I think that's a lot of the reason why there is so much expectation, because when you've got 66% of your team as having been lifting that trophy, with that comes, again, like you rightly say, a great deal of responsibility. Na'Vi as well, I've got to say, having watched them recently, they've been playing phenomenally well. I watched them take on AC Milan Clash in the ESL Mobile Challenge recently, and they gave them a serious run for their money. It was like a different transformation almost, going from what we've sort of witnessed this year. But having said that, they've got some great stats to back up the reasons why they deserve to be here.
Yeah, we're going to delve into that a little bit in just a moment, because I love the fact that this Na'Vi team is playing regularly against their European sort of neighbors. But, of course, it's time to get yourself a bit more acquainted with these two teams and see if they have any thoughts on going head-to-head against each other.
Oh my goodness me, what?
Они избегали скримы с нами, но теперь этого матча им не избежать. Мы готовимся очень плотно, чтобы показать свой максимум в этой игре.
Get the kill, but the spend goes down. It is going to be enough for Tribe, though.
So Na'Vi have had a great run this year. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they match up against us.
Oh man, I'm getting such different vibes from these two teams, right, in terms of how they, laid out their expectations there. But I think hearing from Spen there, he's sort of acknowledged that Na'Vi have really been on a tear lately, and they're a scary team.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a back-and-forth rivalry, a competitive one and a positive one of that, but definitely these two teams have had a lot of run-ins, and they therefore know exactly how each other play. And that's the thing now, with the mind games that are at play and what's at stake, who knows what they're going to bring out of their pocket today.
I mean, we'll have a chance to talk about Na'Vi a whole bunch here, but let's talk about this team. Listen, players you know really well personally. Tom and Spen, of course, were world champions. I don't know. I remember the scenes of them wearing these incredible kingly capes, walking down and lifting the trophy. But that man in between them wasn't there in 2019. Drage is just old enough to even compete, in the BSC coming into the team this year. But, he changed his Twitter location at the start of the year to Worlds 2021. He knew this team was going to be there, and he was right.
Yeah, absolutely right. One of the most anticipated signings of this entire year, and in potentially Brawl history itself. I mean, we've been waiting a long time to see what Drage can bring to things, and again, Tom and Spen have got so much experience, but these guys have been together since the very beginning. So despite him not being able to compete, he's always been around, and like you rightly say, sort of preempting a little bit of their success. Tom and Spen have lifted that trophy. Drage, though, I have no doubt about it, will come in today and show why he is the character and the skill to back it up as well that he deserves to be.
And on the Na'Vi side of things, so I know why MMA chose his name. The guy looks like Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? This guy, it looks like he's just walked out the octagon there. I reckon he's got himself styled to look just like that. But this Na'Vi team, 7 appearances in the EECA Grand Finals, and they've won it 6 of those times, winning 4 monthly finals in a row, right? This is ECA is a very different region to EMEA, and that EMEA is really deep, right? A ton of like incredibly quality teams, all the way down to like 5th, 6th place. Whereas in ECA, there's been one dominant force, and that is this Na'Vi team. They are used to victory, but they've been looking across at other regions, and they're close enough to.
Obviously playing from, I believe, the team house. Tribe have never lost on stage. Like, they've never lost on stage. So they know what it's like to be here, and they're not necessarily looking their opposition directly in the eyes. They're not able to hear necessarily the deepness of the taunts that might be thrown towards them. So I think they're going to be much more collected on stage as a result of that. And but you're absolutely right. Tribe know exactly how Na'Vi like to play, as do vice versa. So this one is going to come down to preparation. But you said it yourself, that in terms of the stats, with regards to Na'Vi and Tribe haven't got the best stats to back up this year. They've got the best stats to kind of back up many of their years in their time, but they haven't had a monthly final win this year. They haven't had a grand final appearance this year. 3 semi-final appearances was pretty much the most, but they have been very consistent. In their qualifiers, they were phenomenal this year.
Okay, so let's dig into that a little bit more. Did you expect more from this Tribe Gaming team, right? Because, I mean, even qualifying for the World Finals was a very rocky ride for this team of superstars.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say I probably did, just simply based on the fact that back in 2019 they surprised us all in Korea. I mean, it was fantastic. I think there was a bit of a lesser expectation back then, but when they went on that stage, they went into the zone, and that's what's scary about Tribe Gaming EU. They do and know how to bring that out of themselves and take it back down a notch and just focus on getting that job done. I think this year has been a bit of a rough one. I think that early stage of the quarterfinal brackets in the monthly finals is a bit of a tough one to get through. Sometimes it can be over very. Sometimes for them it was. I think they've had plenty of time to reflect back on those mistakes and address those things, look back at the more technical side, and I think on stage today they are going to give us a great deal to be proud of and to look at. I mean, I'm a Brit, Uber. I'm going to be a biased caster for today, I feel.
This is absolutely UK versus Russia.
Yeah.
100%. A lot of our European teams a little bit more mixed. Actually, I want to ask you something. You're there on the floor, and obviously you're chatting with a lot of the pros. I'd love to know how Drage is feeling today, because he's kind of baiting people on Twitter. He's like, now's the time to go to bed. Oh, I can't wait to eat breakfast. But, jokes aside, it is this guy's first sort of event of this caliber. He's out there bloody pop locking or whatever the kids do these days, but how is he looking confident, or do you think he's a little nervous?
Okay, Booba. I mean, confidence. I mean, knowing the guys so well for so long, I think that, Dre's just like one of those people which is just kind of like itching to meme and get out there. And you see it on social media. It's a great thing to see, just like a great sense of humor as we have. Quite a dry one as well, because we are British at the same time. But absolutely, he knows how to put himself out there and has the skill, again, to back up a lot of those ballsy statements. At the same time, Na'Vi as well, very composed team. Made a lot of changes recently. I've noticed them myself, and they're starting to become a lot more unpredictable, and that can be a scary thing.
So talk to me now about how your expectations for this European region might have been affected after, seeing SK Gaming bow out already. Does this kind of redefine how you've ranked the regions in your mind coming in? Do you feel like maybe Europe now, like a lot of these other games, are looking a little bit more unsteady, seeing how close maybe at least the NA region is?
I mean, I was saying yesterday from the very get-go to a lot of players in the passings, and I did say I think that for a lot of people this is not going to be nearly as clear-cut as they think. It's such a different environment when you get on that stage in the Brawl house, and you kind of then are tested in a way that you've not necessarily been, or at least not for a while, in regards to the current world situation. So it's controlling those nerves, it's keeping that composure, and sometimes when it all goes quiet, you need someone to drive that home and start to bring back the voices up. And when you haven't got a team opposite you, I think that's kind of an easier thing to do, at least not one physically in the Brawl house. So Na'Vi at the same time, though, are going to be in their kind of more. This is kind of where they're going to be able to really focus as well, and sometimes that can be an advantage in itself. It's quite a daunting thing with all lights and cameras and ugly mugs like myself, shouting and ranting at them. It can be distracting for sure.
Absolutely. And of course, you don't have to worry about being distracted. It's at home, ladies and gentlemen. You can head over to event.brawlstars.com to watch, interact, and earn rewards. Now, Ark, I know you're a bit of a skin collector. You know what I mean? You pointed that earlier on. I know you're very offensive of your merch and stuff like that.
Yes.
But I know a lot of people have been asking you how they can get their hands on the Cat Burglar Jesse skin.
And I'm not going to apologize for that either, by the way. That is just what you get with me. Head on over to event.brawlstars.com. That is where you can place your predictions. I've got every single one wrong, so don't take any of my advice. That's what I will say so far. I've got one more chance remaining, and I did place my thoughts on Tribe EU. But at the same time, you can cheer for your favorite team. There's many ways to get involved and interact and cheer your team of choice. Obviously, those correct predictions do lead on to then adding tools and contributing to getting that Jesse skin. But look at that, over 68% favoring Navi over Tribe Gaming EU. 32% of the viewers at home think that Tribe Gaming EU will take this, but yeah, that's pretty surprising, I've got to say.
Yeah, I think MMA is scaring everybody. You know, like looking into that camera, the way he strokes his beard, I'm just waiting for him to put me in an armbar halfway across the world. You know? Again, on this side of the stage, perhaps some more classical good looks from this team. But okay, Spen, all right, looking like he feels a little confident here. We've seen the fans' predictions. I'd love to know, as someone who's actually had a really good chance, and these teams sort of mix it up in the same sort of scenes. Do you feel like this audience prediction is accurate? Do you feel like there might be something to that? Or are you still confident in your UK boys?
I think the thing is, Tribe have got a huge following. It's no doubt about it. They're very charismatic as well, and have the skill to back it up. I think that when you look on paper, as you rightly said, like Navi, 6 monthly final wins, 7 grand final appearances. Tribe Gaming EU, no monthly final wins, no grand final appearances. So it is quite a daunting stat, but that was then regionalized. This is why I feel like it's kind of, at this point for me, a little bit unpredictable. We don't know how this clash is necessarily going to go. We have seen run-ins before, but this is a completely different environment. I mean, going back to what you were saying about MMA, and he does actually do a lot of fighting. It's his big hobby. In fact, an incredible milestone yesterday, hitting 1 million subscribers over on YouTube. So got to wish him a huge congratulations there. Again, we're seeing a lot of rise up in the pro scene. Many players going towards content creators sort of direction. And yeah, what an incredible milestone for him.
Absolutely. I mean, and now to remind me, I mean, this is definitely going to be a matchup of huge content creators, because I know that that's what obviously, and Tom are really well known for, right? I mean, this team is, full of very popular personalities here, and that's maybe why a lot of the fans at home are looking to try and get behind them in a big way. But we are seeing thumbs up there. Looks like Tom forgot his password. Apparently 123 did work. So then he changed it, and then he forgot it straight away. I'm hearing it's coming in live. Yeah. So it's crazy. You ever done that? Change your password and realize you had caps lock on when you put the new one in, and then you couldn't do it. Yeah, well, I mean, these guys are going through it right now. If you've had trouble, of course, you have to make sure you log in with your Supercell ID, by the way, over at event.brawlstars.com, because that is what's going to be linked to your game account. It's what's going to allow you to earn those rewards. Maybe like Tom, make sure you remember your password.
Wow, it's 2 gold skins on the side of Tribe. Drage going with the Mortis, and Frank for Spen big in, and they've got the HP to be able to push this back. It's a bouncing leg egg, so Drage making the first play. Jump there from Jason, and Drage taken care of quickly.
Yeah, he does set things up for Spen, though, to at least find that elimination. The pop being used by Jason now to get out of trouble, and Spen is hightailing away from that head first. As the dust settles, it's Navi not only with the blue star, but a 1-star lead.
Yeah, Jason with big taps. He's got that super yet again. He's going to have to keep that in mind, because, again, with Piper is the weak link. Ideally, Tom Halo gets taken down as well. So that is going to be 8 stars and the blue star in favor of Navi. The smash of Spen's hammer not going to connect with Jason either. So a chance to reset for Tribe.
I mean, this composition doesn't have a lot to do against Tick Super, by the way. I mean, Drake just has to run away. He's been completely zoned out, cleared up. So Drake now can't get close to Navi without being detected. But Top's going to go with their beautiful stuff. Drake is there with the damage as well. Lifeblood's going to drain MMA down, and that's Tribe EU back in the lead. But for how long? Homemade recipe clips Drake.
disastrous there. He's almost dashed into the shot, and it was a difficult one. Now outnumbered is Spen as all three of Navi come in on that corner side of a ditch. Super off the isolation there actually came into effect as well. So now but they are back in that spawn. There is enough stars there with one big team wipe for Tribe to have to turn this one around in the final moments.
Oh, not good for Drake. He's got nowhere to hide, and Jason's able to pick him off now. Maybe a little bit of disrespect there from the young Brit. It goes against him. Na'Vi now looking confident. MMA able to not bend back. He gets a stunning blow on a Cube, who has 5 stars, and Drake more than that. There's just not enough time. Nicely done from Jason to super out of the way. Na'Vi start with that first round.
I think Navi did great, honestly. I did love the strategy, though, from Tribe Gaming EU to come out with just really doubling down or tripling down on your tank brawlers. I felt like it could have gone another way, but a couple of mistakes here and there, a couple of dashes that sort of ended in a few deaths, and that's what matters in Bounty. The kill death ratio is so important. So these big tanky comps are a great idea, but sometimes it's easy to overcommit with them.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to commit to some degree, right, to actually, but getting out after the fact seemed to be the issue for Tribe. Like, unless it's a full team wipe, it seems like it's dangerous, and I don't know. It seems like Na'Vi had to safety. Like, the was pretty huge, and the fact that Leon can slink away as well. Look at the damage done. Yeah, Drage was duking it out in the back line, but sometimes he was really on his own.
Yeah, it's a high-risk thing. Playable right now as a brawler because it's in a great spot, I've got to say, and I know that they like to bring it out sometimes as well. So definitely that's appealing for me. Buzz as well, absolutely. But I think one thing's for sure, Navi did very, very well against that comp, and I think that now that the cards have been shown for that comp, that they're going to be more prepared idea, and actually we're going to be seeing the same yet again from both sides.
Sorry, okay. Tribe, yeah, they want to go in with the same look, but oh, it's going to be tough for Spen. He's going to be rescue immediately. Spen gives a great account of himself, though, and is at least able to trade. It's a blue star for Na'Vi, and it's even in stars in general, so still more work needs to be done by Tribe. They are an all-in composition.
Well, good communication there. Tom coming in, taking it down with the fists, really, but at the same time, definitely not one that Drage can really go and contest. The smash from Spen happened, though, and Tom going in, super on the aggressive, gets chased in the corner, gets the takedown as well, super there to hand if he needs to come back out, but doesn't use it. Jason takes care of it.
Yeah, that's the issue. Tom used his gadget to have minus the stun to get out, but he didn't have an escape route. That's been the problem for Tribe right now, and that's why they're behind by a star, a blue one at that.
Yeah, I would like to have seen a bit of a dash out from Tom there, but I understand the reason why. Rage is going to get, my goodness me, and as quickly as that, he is a big bounty above here. No doubt Spen and Tom are going to have to protect the president right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at this. Tribe giving up a lot of this map control because they frankly have to. They need to get to safety, which means letting Na'Vi move up like this. Tries to go aggressive there. He's only got 2 stars on him. He can do that, but he gives them away for free. And this means that Drage's hard-earned stars are only giving him a slip. 17 seconds left.
Yeah, that's great value from Tom. Coming in, going to keep Spen low, and Cube knows, so he comes in to try and chip damage. Drage comes in with a nice cycle there. Tom with a pick up to MMA also. 15 stars, but a turnaround potential with that smash from Spen will seal the deal. 20 stars and the blue star to Tribe, and we are all tied up in set 1.
That was buttery smooth stuff there. Rage goes in very aggressively. Make no mistake, everybody. Tribe are playing the difficult composition here. Their setup is challenging, and it's not safe to play. But if you can pull it off, you get these crazy, exciting moments like we just saw there. Fantastic Mortis play. I love the Piper Super got baited out there by Drage. He realized that he wouldn't be able to get that kill at those stars, so he dives in and dives straight back out. That's beautiful. It's not textbook. It's a bit more special than that.
Yeah, it's just precision. It's count. That first matchup didn't really work out well for Drake. He got some great value, but ultimately, every now and again, just a bit too overly aggressive in that game. Absolutely played perfectly. Now, the question I have here as well is, now that Navi have played that same comp and won, but this time they've lost, so are they going to switch things up? If those stats are anything to go by, I would suggest they do. 0 kills for MMA to the 2 of Tom. 258 DPS to the 11 of Tom. So actually less for Tom, but again, with Buzz timing his runs, 4 deaths, more deaths than MMA. But again, those
yeah, it's a weird comparison to make because those two brawlers are designed to do completely different things.
Yeah, true.
Bear in mind, Tom can generate his super by just walking into those tick mines. So having stunning blow, often available, I think is definitely very helpful. That's when the party gets started. Go for that super. Drage dives on in there. And it requires a lot. This is a dive composition, essentially. Requires a ton of coordination. And frankly, I mean, Tribe could have made things easy for themselves and played something like really standard. Like they could have, they could have tried to emulate what Na'Vi are doing, right? Lollipop drop Leon, have Tick there, just try and, play for sort of control. But no, these guys they're ballsy. I love it. Spendo tries to find that blue star and he's punished.
Well, I like this from Tribe. Sort of now going back to kind of what things I would tend to play down here, and Sprout is a nice choice from Spen to get down the lanes, and then assassination attempt could be a great strategy to have going into this matchup. But it's a slow start, but 3. Oh, now a nice takedown from Drake, will change this to a 3. But it is still Tribe just slightly behind. Nice block off there from Spen on the right hand side, forcing Cube into a bit of the home mirror. Missing a returning one is going to keep him very, very low now.
Drage has to pop the super there and actually eliminate some of the cover that Piper wants. That Drage has. So all of his effectiveness firing from these bushes. Tom has actually made a lane switch here, so he wasn't able to really do too much about Cube there and look for an opportunity to open this up a bit more, but it is up to Tribe. They need to find an opening in this. So much terrain blocking their line of sight that might be difficult.
Cube's going to pop the image there, and Drage finds it. Oh, he's the lollipop drop as well, but Tom at the pickup. That's going to get Tribe. Very calculated, it's got to be said, especially when, for all intents and purposes, they're at his strongest.
You did right, but this is years of Brawl Stars experience now starting to They knew exactly how to just pick out a couple stars and put themselves in the lead, and now it's all up to Navi. Can they do something about these veterans that are really... MMA is so low, it's going to be a hedge to prevent him from running any further forward. Jason needs to be careful. The space sword's being thrown in his direction. He just disintegrates as he walks up to Tom. Beautiful stuff there from Tribe Europe. They show us 2 distinctly different looks. They're flashy and I love it.
Yeah, it was quite a close finale there, but a well, nice timed retreat back into the spawn there for Tribe Gaming EU, and they did have a nice celebration at the end of that matchup, so clearly spirits running high, as you've got to keep that in your side. I mean, we saw earlier today just how much it benefited the Tribe Gaming end. Same sort of on at the moment with everyone celebrating, but again, Navi are very good at a comeback and they can get inside your mind, so no doubt they will also be having a bit of a conversation in the background as to what went wrong.
And of course, just to remind, and this caught me at first as well, Tom and Spen's nameplates on their monitors actually back to front on stage. So yeah, Tom is playing on the far left side, Spen on the far right. That doesn't match up now, look, solid stuff from Navi. They showed us they at least knew how to deal with aggressive dive to a degree. But there's a last hurrah, a head first even used there. Range means that Drage just go for broke there. That's scary stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got to say, that again, I was kind of surprised by the predictions to be so far weighted towards the fact that Tribe Gaming EU are so well known, but at the same time, this is looking like a good start for them for what has been, a bit of a rough year, I think, to say as well. Look at some stats here as well. 48% damage from Spen again, with that Sprout Brawler being such a great